trip to Ghana. So.
Your trip to Ghana?
Yeah.
Is there black people there?
Lord, enough of them.
Okay.
Enough.
All right.
Which was a beautiful sight.
All right.
A very beautiful sight.
Just making sure everything is all right. Right.
And you see this tune that was played? This was perfect.
Why?
You know why it's perfect? Because it talks about being robbed of our gold. Being robbed of our sevenfold that belong to us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That tastes real.
Yeah, this tastes real.
Don't tell them what it tastes real.
I won't tell them what I'm eating, but it tastes real though, innit? So if you hear us clapping our mouths, we're eating something real around here, yeah?
she nyamming something real, people. But it's alright. I'm just watching what I go on. So big shout goes out to my brethren, Miguel Godwagwan. You don't know when I leave you out. No time my brethren, my sister. I call you my brethren still.
I know you do.
I can't help it because you just coming like one of the man them.
Oh God, that's not good. I'm a feminine woman. I'm not masculine. I'm feminine.
Feminine?
Yeah. I'm not masculine. No, I'm not. I know I got a warrior spirit, but that's good to have a warrior spirit. But I'm very feminine with my warrior spirit. I don't want to. I'm not like trying to usurp a man or nothing like that. I know my place as a woman.
I'm glad you brought up warrior spirit because people are not aware of how much women warriors there was in Africa that overthrew a lot of people. And there was one warrior queen that she was so powerful that even Shaka Zulu himself had to respect this woman.
Shantua.
Yes.
That's right.
Right.
And that's what they told me that I was when I was over there.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
You sure that
that's what they said. Yes. More than one person told me that.
All right.
And I actually felt like that too. I'm no word of a lie. I felt like a proper warrior queen over there.
Okay. So what happened then? So since you felt like a warrior queen and you come back over here, you bring back any warrior items? You bring back no spear, no sword, no daggers or anything?
Yeah, in my heart and on my tongue.
Damn your food, boy. Yes, just damn your food, boy. Right?
So if you mess about with me, I've got some spears for you. Good ones, though. Positive ones.
All right. So she have the spears. Right. So that's how it is. Now, we are going to talk the thing about your journey to the motherland. And for those who don't go, you better go.
Oh, gosh,
you understand?
Please do.
There's a lot of things that we personally haven't experienced, some of us, which is the motherland. And we have to go. We have to go. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll just say out to all the crew out there and those who have been already. You know what I mean? It's all good. So, I would like to talk to you a bit about what happened and your experience, but I know for a fact that people's going to say it's rude to talk with food in your mouth. Right, so I'm going to wait till you finish
I'm done.
your lunch.
I'm done.
And we can talk. Yeah? Yeah, so just enjoy. I'm going to play one more tune. You know, give the lady warrior spirit some more time for nyam down that food there. And then we're going to get into the show. As I said, we're talking today, this show is called Pearlz of Wisdom. And we'll talk about some little things that will work most probably wise and will give you a direction in life or even help you with your problem. I can get the phone. The number to get you through is 07944431366. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, you know, it's called interaction. You understand? Yeah, so yeah, the time is past 4 according to Babylon clock. Yeah, just in case you don't know the time. What a day.
And you will be back into the hours of 6 o'clock.
All right. Before we go into the show, who's the brother? What's his name again? It's not Chronix, it's the next brother. Who come back? I saw the YouTube clip where he said him rich.
Oh, you mean Jack Yor?
Aye, that's the brother. Right. What's your views on that? I don't know if you find out what go on.
Yeah,
but
heard
the rough news was that he went to the Arab land, yeah, and come back and say him rich. Dubai. He went to Dubai, and now he come back and say him rich. You understand?
Okay.
Now, I'm looking at the thing, you know, and I'm saying there's something strange because it's like the love for Rastafari is not there, or unless he knows exactly what he's doing, and he come and him cuss off everybody since him come back, tell them about themselves and good car this and that. But I'm not saying what he's saying is right, but we have to look at it like this as well. There is so many reggae artists all over the world doing big time stage shows. I know how it go, and I know so they're making some good money. But what have they brought back to the ghetto, making all this money? You understand?
Yeah.
What have they put back? You understand? You have the Marley brother, William named Junior Gun Marley, who's done this tune. What out of the ghetto? I don't like that tune. We're living it up out of the ghetto.
I saw that one. I didn't like that one either. No.
Yeah, when I heard the tune and I saw the video, I'm saying, so that's you feel good because you're living it up out of the ghetto.
Yeah.
You're glorifying yourself because you're out of the ghetto.
Yeah.
But it's ghetto life that make you. You understand? This is why when certain people run from the hood and run from the ghetto and say them done with the ghetto and then go up there and get rich and switch, that's up to them, right? We're all entitled to our opinion. My opinion, I've been there, done that, and been to see the rich life and that kind of life there. And I realize for myself, man, just come back to the ghetto, yo, because at the end of the day, you're in touch with what's really going on.
Yeah.
On the streets, on the road, amongst the people them that are struggling, and amongst the people them that want to rise up, and their point of view of the people that is already up there.
So this, when I tell you what go on down now in Ghana, you understand what I'm saying now. When you say what you're saying right there about ghetto, when I tell you what I tell you, you understand why.
When you tell me what you tell me, well, tell me what you're telling me, because you don't tell me what you tell me yet. I don't know what you tell me, because you never tell me. So don't tell the people, say when you tell me what you tell me.
I've just been told to hurry up and eat my food, so I'm going to finish now.
No, don't hurry up and eat your food, because if you choke and thing and fall on the floor, and I'm going to laugh after
No,
you.
you're not going to laugh after me. You go on, you go on.
Yeah, man. Nyaman left.
Right. That ain't Nyaman. I ain't Nyaman left. That was Nyaman and sharing.
Okay, all right. It's all right. It's all right. Anyway, when you tell me what you tell me what you're going to tell me what you tell me.
So,
yeah.
Let me just, wipe my mouth kind of them. Hang on a second.
Would you like some coconut water?
You got coconut water?
I saved one for you,
You did?
Yes.
But I bought it for you, though.
You bought it for me?
Yeah.
And I saved one for you.
All right, thank you.
All right,
I
but since
appreciate
you buy it for me, I'll keep it.
All right, if you want to, that is all right.
But I will share. See him there! Corporate! Yes!
Is that him there?
No, man. I don't work with that, you know.
Anyway, so... Oh, God, it is him there. But he's not singing. He's not singing about ghetto life.
It don't make no difference. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But all right, then anyway, we'll get on to him after. We'll talk about him after. We'll sum it all in and get into it.
I can hear a phone vibrating or something vibrating. It's not you that's vibrating like that. Okay, it's the people them.
All right.
I got to take this call.
Go on.
All right, I'll leave my sister to talk to you. Talk to them.
All right, okay. Right, right. He's talking about the ghetto. Since he started with the ghetto, when I went to Ghana, I decided that we went to a hotel, and the hotel was a nice hotel and everything like that. It was all right. I'm not going to say too much about it, just in case the person's listening or whatever. The hotel was a nice hotel, but we decided that we was going to go to the hotel that we had thought about weeks in advance. And I'm glad we made the choice to go to that hotel, because that hotel was right near the beach. It was right in the heart of the village. And, you know, it was nice to live amongst the people. It was really, really nice to see everyday life, their everyday life, basically. And I have to call it a ghetto, because it really was a ghetto. You saw the shanty houses, the zinc roof houses. You saw them living in empty buildings with hardly anything in it, you know, and you just saw the rawness. You saw the rawness. We was there. We was walking and sitting down and eating with the chickens. And let me tell you something about the animals over there. You saw mother, you saw father, and you saw children. Whether it was with the goats, whether it was the chickens, whether it was the cats, whether it was the dogs, they all lived together as one. There was no fighting, there was no arguing, there was no bickering. they were all playing together and they all ate together. Now, as animals, if they can do that, why is it that we as humans, we can't do that? Anyway, so that was one part of it. And what I found, like I said, being in the ghetto and being and even though they were so living in such close proximity as each other, you never really got no big time arguing or big time mix up. Don't make me laugh. Big time mix up. And did you hear what I was saying when he was out there? Did you hear?
No, something very, very important came up, which I'm going to tell you about after you're done. Go on.
Okay. Anyway, so there was no big mix up, and there was.
Proper, innit?
That's what I'm saying. So go on, you eat now, because I'm talking now. You got me talking now. So let me go and talk now. You understand? So yeah, so there was no big time dramas or no big time mix up or nothing like that. You just had one and two little squabbles or guan and rah. But after a little while, you know, it sorted himself out. But like I said, you saw the poverty. But even though they were living in poverty, or when I say poverty, let me say
it's not poverty.
It's not poverty. Let me explain it. Let me get my words correct, because it's not poverty. Even though they weren't living according to how we over here live. Let me just say this. All right, then they never had carpet. They never had, you know, the luxuries we have here. Yeah, they don't have the luxuries we have here. Some of them. Yeah.
We think it's luxury we have.
Which we think is luxury. You said the right thing, which we think are luxuries. But you know something? Because they never had those luxuries like the phone. They had phones, but TVs. But when I'm saying, you know, Wi-Fi was very hard to get where we were. You understand what I'm saying? It was very, very hard. Now, if we left the spot where we were, that was it for the day.
Okay.
Right, so like we got up in the morning, we got up early, you know, we will get to the Wi-Fi spot, say maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so we're there 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, we will eat our breakfast, you know, or whatever the case may be, or we'll eat our lunch, depending on what time we reach the Wi-Fi spot. When you leave that Wi-Fi spot, you're not getting Wi-Fi again until maybe, if you reach back in, say, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, depending, you know. So there was time to do all the things that was needed to be done. And I realized that when I was there and I didn't have the use of my phone or anything, I could get a whole lot done within the day. A whole lot done. And I found that those people are very, very, very productive. Very productive. You want to see the talents and the gifts that they've got. You want to see the things that they produce over there. And if we had that same time that they have over there, our children, because they start young, they start their children from young, they train their children from young, yeah, in their skills and in their talents. Our children will be so much better off than the children that are over here now, because the children's minds over here are taken up with what's going on MTV or BET, or what's going on with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all this nonsense. Our children's minds are filled with nonsense. But over there, because they don't have, like I said, the access to the Wi-Fi, so they have no choice but to be productive and use their talents and use their gifts. You understand what I'm saying? They have no choice.
I like that, because that's how we grow. Yeah, we never have a whole heap of toys. We never have a whole heap of this and that. So we became productive with our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with our mind. And all these things. So now when we grow, we know how to build. Our tight Danites, we know how to build. You know what I mean? But what it is, Babylon has given you all this technology to tear away your brain, your memory, your talent. That now you have to use something else to create what you want, instead of just everything from the earth.
You know how I see it? What just come to me? You know, when you're on a life support machine, the life support machine breathes for you. I'm just saying in general.
Oh yeah, when somebody's on it.
Yeah, when someone's on a life support machine, that life support machine, it breathes for you.
Yeah.
What they've given, what they've done with the media all of these technologies, it's like a life support machine that it's breathing for and living for the children.
They've given the people the people them a life support machine which they don't need.
And the thing about it, once you become dependent on that life support machine, take that life support machine away from you, you're dead. All right,
give another example. Somebody who has asthma, they give them an inhaler. Mother Nature provides the cure, but you don't go to your natural environment. You go to the chemist. Now you start relying on this inhaler when your back's against the wall.
That's
and you've gone. But really and truly, you've adapted so much to this inhaler. Now it becomes a part of your survival. We've adapted so much to these phones and this internet till it becomes a part of your survival. So when we go to Africa and see where some of these people don't have none of this, but yet they can take urine and all this thing and convert it into electric.
This is the things that they do. They're so amazing. They really are amazing. Listen to me. I'm telling you, I get speechless when I talk about it. When you see the children, like, I'm going to stick with the children now. Right? When you see how strong they are. When I say strapping, there's no fat. There's no illness. You can look at them and you can see that they're healthy. You understand what I'm saying? Because they from they're young, they train them to carry their shopping. They walk upright, straight. If you see the males, the boys, I love boys. You understand what I'm saying? I love my daughters, but I love boys. I've got a thing for boys. You understand what I'm saying? Because I grew up with 6 brothers plus 8 brothers. You understand what I'm saying? Plus I got my sons and loads of nephews. So boys are my thing. You understand what I'm saying? When you see the boys over there, how strapping they are, how you know, strong they are, and you understand what I'm saying, and they use the natural resources of what they've got. You understand what I'm saying? To their health, they're like I said, their fruit, their medicine is hanging on the trees. It's just, it's everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Their medicine is everywhere, and they eat that, they drink it. This is just amazing to see how they stay. Their mind is clear. You understand what I'm saying? They know what they're doing, what they want to do, where they want to go. You understand what I'm saying? They're productive. It's so different. When you come back and you see the children over here, and they're just so wimpy and just moany and just, you know, stroppy and all the rest of it. You're thinking, you know something? Please go Ghana. Please go. You need to go over there. You lot need to go over there, because the difference is just so. Listen to me. The gulf between them is just massive. It's really massive. You know what I mean? It's just something else. And they're the opportunities that they would love to have. Our children have got them. Our children have them, and our children are not doing nothing with them. They're sitting down and they're watching this foolishness on TV, and they think that's what life is all about. And
they want to become what they see on TV. Now, supposing there's no TV, now you have to. Now, what are you going to become? Who is your role model? Majority of the youth them nowadays, their role model is something that they've seen on the internet or seen on the television or seen through their technology. But when you take away the technology, now you have to look for a role model. Your role model is going to be something that's living now, a person. You know what I mean? Or someone. Now you got to find somebody who you have to look up to and communicate with. But the technology is like, brethren, I'm going to tell people. Although I keep calling my sister in brethren, I have to. That's how it got. You understand? I know her a long time. And she was one of the man them who used to move with the man them and fight with the man them. Don't get it twisted. And now she's a lady now. She forgets, and we forget when she used to fight with the man them too. So we know she was one of the man them. Right. Technology has gone too far.
It's taking it too far, man.
Right, and
it's taking it too far. We've got to claim our children back.
Right,
we've really got to claim our children back. And
I
said to my children when I came over here, when I came back from Ghana, I said, let me tell you something. If you believe, the way when I left, how things are going to be the same when I left. You've got another thing coming. Like I said, I've got my boys. My youngest now is 11, and it's the same thing I said to him. You understand what I'm saying? When they want to complain, I said, you want to go Ghana? I said, do you want to see what the children are like in Ghana? And I know it's sort of like throwing it in their face, but I let them know. And I let them know how the children are over there and how they are going to become, because I'm going to make sure that they are going to become like that. They quiet down themselves. I have to tell them the truth and open it up to them and show them what life is really about. What you're living here is not the life.
It's not living.
This is not living. This is I don't know what you call this, but this ain't living. This ain't living. I can't wait to get my children over there for them to actually see and experience and feel and smell and taste what life really is about. This over here is not life. This is death. This is death. This is artificial over here. It really is artificial.
All right. I don't want to change the subject. We're going to go back to the African thing in a minute, yeah? I just had a very, very important phone call. I'm going to call the lady again, yeah, because she's right in the hype of how she feels, yeah? Which I noticed this thing's been going on subtle, right? But now I've seen that this is not even a joke thing anymore, right? Our African queens are spending a lot of money in the hair shop with the weave and the this and that. God bless you, right? I'm not going to ban you on that today, yeah? But what I found out today, not even today, but I knew it long time ago, but now it's just becoming a bit more realistic in your face. There's some people with some Indian shop them that don't like we at all, yeah? I try to check for myself to say if this is really real, and the more I start look at the thing and the more I start talk to certain people, is the more I've realized there's something going on, and it's a lot deeper than we think, yeah? And I'm not fighting against all of them, because I say there's good and bad in all races, yeah? But as a business, you have to, and also the customer, they used to have a thing where the customer is always right. But I've changed it from the customer is always right to the customer is always white. Yeah. The reason why is because if we are not that color when we're going to that shop, they are treating us like the people that you call the untouchables. Yeah. You got a set of Indian people, what they call the untouchables, right? That is the dark-skinned Indians. But I've realized that in some of these Indians, not all of them, come have some good Indian shop when we got to, but them don't sell here. Yeah. It's the ones them that sell the woman products. At them we have to watch.
They're very cheeky, aren't they?
Yeah, because cheeky. Now they got you by the
short and curlies.
That's not a black man you're talking about, you know.
Yeah, but it's short hair and curly hair.
Oh,
short and curlies.
Beat me. Where the bell? Save me. Oh gosh, repentance right there. Yeah. Anyway, right. So, it's like, yeah, as I said, check it out for yourself. Yeah, 'cause I've done a little bit of thing on it. As I said, the ones them that I've realized that selling the food and certain little things, them not so bad, 'cause them really undercover. But the ones them that selling the weave and the extensions and this and that, my survey now is not even one shop, not even two shop. I've been getting complaints more regular now, like there's some kind of conspiracy, because they know that our women now has conformed to their hair, yeah, and their way of thing, and we've made them so much money. Our women, they know the black woman ain't listening to the black man no more. We control the black woman. They have to come to we to look like we. You understand? That's how I'm seeing it now, yeah? And I know that when it comes to what we would call obia, yeah, don't underestimate the Indian man them, you know? Yeah, but they know their thing. Yeah. They know their thing.
But it's in the hair, isn't it?
No, but I mean, they know how to do their thing. Just like how we and our ancestors know how to do our thing. They know how to do their thing. You understand? So I'm saying now, why would they not do something to the weaves? Why not?
Exactly.
It's all about money. And if they don't care about you, put a little thing in the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand?
But why do you think it goes to the temples to be prayed on?
Yeah, but it's not really being
sold.
Yeah, but it's not being prayed on, you know. It's being sacrificed to someone.
But they still pray.
It's not a prayer, it's a sacrifice.
Yeah, but they still pray.
To who?
Yeah, whichever God them pray to.
But it's not the God that the person who's wearing the hair serve.
Exactly. So it's still them praying over the hair.
Yeah, they're praying over the hair, which is basically they sanctify that hair to another God. But with the women, them know this. They know all of this. So we're going on.
Yeah, but you don't know what else has been invoked into, because we don't know what's been prayed.
They don't care. Our black women don't care. Right? Now, the point of the matter is, it's not about that part there. The part is that man them, some of these shops, not all of them, but the ones that sell the weave, them are disrespecting our black women. And this is the third time already since the year start that I've heard a serious disrespect to our women. And even when the police come, the police say there's nothing we can do. The Indian man assaulted a black woman because the black woman bought the hair, she brought it home and she washed it. When she washed the hair started to shred. She don't wear it yet, you know. She'll bring it back to the shop and say, look, this is what's happened to the hair when I wash it. The Indian man said there's nothing he can do about it and he's not going to refund the money. But if you want to buy something else, you can buy something else. He says, I don't want nothing else. This product that you're selling is wrong, so I'd like to get my refund. And what, you know what the man did? The man called the police. The police came and said that the shop owner was in his rights not to give her back her money. How'd that work? You sell a 40 product and you cut and you don't have to give back the money.
The thing, what it is as well, because she's washed it now, she's basically lost her rights in a sense. She has lost. It will be classed as being used. Yeah,
but if she never washed it, she wouldn't know that the hair is not real hair.
Exactly. But there's a catch-22. But because she's washed it, it's classed as used, so he doesn't have to give her back her money. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what the sisters them need to know out there.
Yeah, but still, if you buy something and when you go to use it, you realise it's not what it is.
Yeah, but that's different from, say, you bought a tin opener. You understand what I'm saying? You've bought the tin opener and you've tried the tin opener. It don't work. You can bring that tin opener back and give it back to them. You understand? When it comes to hair, that's like a personal thing. It's like, if I buy a knickers from a shop, they tell me you can't bring that knickers back.
Hey, did you have to go so deep?
Yeah, because I have to show you the deepness of it. I have to show, but a knickers is personal. The hair is personal. A tin opener is not personal. You understand what I'm saying?
All right then. Supposing you buy a pair, what you call knickers, underwear,
drawers,
whatever, and you wash it and it just starts to fade out. All the first wash you wash it, because you have to wash them when you buy them. Some people just buy them, rip the packet open and put them on. No, you have to wash them before you wear them. If you wash them and you realise it's just keeping shredding up, or the lining start come out because you washed it, you're not going to bring it back.
In that sense, if you've got your receipt and you said, look, I've bought this and this is what's happened, you get what I'm saying, you can do that. You understand? Because you've bought it and you've shown. In that sense, you could do that because they're not going to sell that product. They'll have to get rid of that product. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that's if it's like how can I put it? Let's just say Primark for instance. We're not advertising Primark.
You already said that.
Yeah,
you already said it.
Well, they can give me some free goodies then. But anyway, I just have to say it like that. They're a reputable company, so they would have to say, you know, it's a faulty stuff. Let me give you back the money. But him as an Indian man, he don't have to do that.
Alright, so should we go live to the scene of what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we're gonna phone the scene.
Yeah.
So basically, the moral of the story, what I'm saying is that there is something going on against these Indian people, against the women that buying the weave and going into those kind of shops. I've noticed lately you have been disrespected in a certain way. Yeah,
but you know what, again, can I just say something? In a sense, sisters, I'm really, really sorry to say this, but I'm going to say it plain and straight. I don't feel sorry for Uno.
I know what you're going to say, you know. I know what you're going to say.
I don't feel sorry for Uno. Because you know something, yeah? What we've done, we've sold ourselves out. I'm going to say I'll put myself in it because I don't wear weave, but just to make it as a thing, you sold yourself out. Why would you believe that anybody will respect you when you've sold yourself out? Why? Why would you believe that anybody will? You're gone to a shop to go and buy somebody else's hair to put on your head. That person, that Indian man's looking at you like you're mad.
There's no other culture that would do that.
Nobody's doing that, but you're doing that.
No, but
so do you believe that you're going to get respect? You're not going to get respect. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to take your money and he's going to laugh in your face. And you know what? He's going to sell you that bad hair because he knows so he don't have to give you back no money.
And because they're united, they will stick together.
And they will stick together. So you know what? I don't feel sorry for you, because this is what needs to happen to you more often so that you don't understand. Stop put people's hair on your head. Love yourself, love the hair you have, and love the skin that you are in. So you know what, sisters? I'm very sorry. I don't feel sorry for you.
Okay, all right. So, in saying that, the braiding and this stuff, we've been doing this from ancient times. So don't say like, oh, well, you know what I mean, with the hairstyle and thing we are fight against. The style we've been doing this braiding and women's been wearing wigs from ancient times. But the wigs that they were wearing was from their natural hair. Or
from animal.
No.
Some of them were from
No,
animal.
I'm going back to ancient time and from the Egypt time. What it is this. Even no matter what they made their hair from, it had to agree with you, with your genetic makeup and with your hair. They didn't just take something from a wild horse and put it on your head. There has to be a connection or something, a link between the two. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Alright, greetings. Wait there. Greetings,
my brother.
Hold on. How are you? Where's the other one?
No, is it
Oh, you're
this?
so slow, man.
How is me slow? Do I know
But
where
ask
it
a
is?
woman
But
to do
weird.
a man thing.
You tell me where it is.
Alright, here it is. Yeah, greetings. I
I can hear, but I can't
can
hear.
hear you, but I can't hear you.
We can hear, but can't hear. So which one is it?
Yeah, I can just about hear you.
Well, I'm just doing my best here, calling in. Well, yeah, what I really call
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Hold on, before you even talk here, you're live on the radio, you know.
I'm live on the radio, Rasta.
Yeah, you're live.
Majesty, my brother, keep right here. Well, first of all, I'd like to give our African family, the Caribbean family, a wonderful blessing, right, in the presence of the Almighty Supreme Creator that created the first man, the first woman on the continent that we now call Africa.
Okay.
So enough blessing, brother bless, and blessing to the Blessed Radio family.
Tell
all
them
your
what,
listeners.
brethren, tell them who you are and where you're calling from.
Right, I am Ras Ho Shing, and I'm calling in from Jamaica, right? I am Ras Ho Shing. I am a member of the National Council for Reparation here in Jamaica, the Caribbean. I'm also a representative of the Ethiopian World Federation, Charter 43, which is the land grant charter for the development of Shashamane. I'm also the representative of the ancient order of Rastafari that covers all the mansions from Nyabingi, Baba Shanti, 12 tribe, and I'm also a baptized member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo faith, the one that is Majesty, His Imperial Majesty and Ethiopia. That is the faith from thousands and hundreds of thousands of years of the Ethiopian people. So that is my credential. I'm popularly known as Ras Oshing, right? But my baptism name is Pearlz. That is spelled with an U-S, not an O-S. So that is who I am, my brother. And as you know, we recently came to London and engaged with the diaspora. Many of your groups, including Galaxy Radio, Ethiopian World Federation, Local 3, and other groups of the African diaspora, and that brought about a petition that has been launched to protect our ganja industry in Jamaica from the chemical cannabis that has been grown by the husband of your present Prime Minister, and has been, as you know, Britain has been the #1 supplier of this GM strain that is destroying your brain, and that they want to tell the world that it has medicinal and nutraceutical benefit, which, as you know, my brother, anything which is GM, genetically modified, has no benefit to either man or to the natural environment. It destroys.
All right. So hold on. Right. So now we're going to talk here about what it is. We're going to talk to you because we're going to talk about this subject of what's going on over there with this GM weed and stuff like that. But we going to talk on Thursday. Yeah, at 2.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I know. So what we're doing, we're talking about the hair right now and how what's happening with the people then. But at the same time, me and you need to talk differently anyway, because you're supposed to call me on the WhatsApp, which is cheaper for you. But if you want on a credit, that means you're rich, so things can go on.
No, I'm actually calling on the WhatsApp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is a WhatsApp connection.
Okay, boy, technology. This phone does everything.
Unbelievable. Without it, we now have the whole of the African continent on the same page as we in the Caribbean, on the same time, different time zone, but we're all realizing that the atrocities that continue here in the Caribbean is the same atrocities that is being continued on the continent.
All right, so what we're gonna do, we got a plan. Me and you have a little plan for set up a little thing, and we don't know what the progress is at your end of how things are working out with the team.
Right. Well, by the end of this week, the jingles that you want, probably earlier than that, we've asked some musician here.
All right. Well, listen.
Bring up a jingle so that we can assist you, the diaspora.
It's going to
so
let
that
the
we
whole
can
new business. It's going to let the whole new business.
You see what I'm saying? You see what they're doing? You see what he's doing? It's about them.
And the people of Jamaica, but both at home and abroad.
All right, listen. We're gonna talk this thing, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna as I said, we're gonna take this stage by stage, yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk to you offline in a little while, and continue the work that we have to do, yeah. And we do it by step by step. There is no shortcut to do this thing.
I was just calling you to confirm Thursday.
Yeah, but I told you that you're live on. Yeah, I know, but we're telling you, say you're live on air right now.
Majesty, I can hear you.
So
I will take this opportunity to let your listeners at Bless FM, Radio 1 FM, know of the petition that has been launched by the collective efforts.
Yeah, but you're taking this opportunity to do this, but at the end of the day, we're gonna talk in a little while still, yeah, because at the end of the day, you do what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, hello.
Sorry about that. We went a little bit off topic there. Wasn't expecting that, but I'll let Brother Bless deal with that right there. We was talking about hair. We'll soon go back onto the topic of going to Ghana, because that's basically what he was going to question me about Ghana. But yeah, the hair things come into it, and etc. and etc. Brother Blesses, he's got more to say about it than I do. Like I already said, when it comes to, you know, the Indian man disrespecting our sisters, you know, I don't have the sympathy for them. And I was once one of those women who used to buy weave and stuff like that. So I know what I say when I say what I say, because at the end of the day, I was a fool to keep going back to be disrespected by these men. Because I used to argue with them as well. I used to go in there and argue with them. I won't mention the famous name of the shop, but I used to go and argue with them. And I realised, why am I arguing with these people? The hair don't belong to me. It's not my hair. So why am I going to argue over this hair that does not belong to me? And I embraced the hair that I had on my head. And I started to love the hair that I had on my head. I enjoyed being in the skin that I am in. Yeah, I was made this way. So I chose to embrace myself and love myself and get on with my black, beautiful self. Yeah, so, you know, I think more of it needs to happen. You need to be disrespected more by these Indian men, because you need to realize that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. The Creator made you beautiful. And to try and put these things on your head to try and enhance your beauty, you know, for me, and I'm just speaking, this is me personally, and like I said, I was there at one point. It's quite insulting to the Creator at the end of the day. You understand? So you know, yeah, it's a bit insulting. But like I said, there are many people who, like those who are cancer patients, and some people who have alopecia, who need to have or would like to have you know, wigs to cover their hair and etc. and etc. And even with that, I feel that because society has made such a big deal about us looking a certain way or having to look a certain way, we can't even embrace ourselves with our head bald, we can't even embrace ourselves. With that, we feel ashamed. We feel like, you know, we have to cover up ourselves, and we shouldn't even have to cover up ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? You know, having alopecia or having cancer is not something that can be helped, and people should not be made to feel ashamed because they've lost their hair. And even with that, again, is another subject altogether. You get what I'm saying? So it's I think it's kind of deep. It is kind of deep, but you know, I don't try to get into that subject too much, because it's I think if you get into it, it can distract you from what is really important. Really and truly, it can distract you from what's important. So I try not to get into that. But like I said, you know, Brother Bless, he's gonna talk about that topic a bit more, and thing. But as I was saying about Ghana, and you know, I spoke about the children and the way how the children were. It would be so nice if our children could grow up authentically instead of artificially. It's very scary to see what is happening with our children. It's very, very scary to see where they're going and how and what their prospects are in this country. And I don't think this country want to have authentic people who are using their own minds to think. They are actually trying to produce robots out of people, as well as they are making robots in general anyway to take over a lot of the workforces, the jobs from people, you know. So I know that, you know, from studying that, you know, the slave trade, the human trafficking is still going on. So when these robots actually take over the workforces, what's going to happen to the humans? What's going to happen? There's a big human trafficking going on at the moment, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, are our young children going to become a part of that human trafficking, where they use them in some really horrible ways? Anyway, you study about Atlantis, because we was talking about Atlantis. Atlantis was a lost city, they said, but they're supposed to be raising the Atlantis, and they're looking for humans, workforces, trafficking humans to do this. I know it's sort of like going off the topic, but I just had to mention that because, like I said, it's horrible to see what's going on with the children nowadays, you know. And you know, you started.
Yeah, me started. Well,
right.
there's somebody, there's so much things open on this thing. People use the phone and don't close the windows, you know.
Yeah.
But it's alright. What I was trying to do is get back to the sister to give you the update of what was going on.
So was it happening there and then at the time?
Yes, right now.
Right now, okay.
Right now it was happening. I heard the argument in the shop.
Oh, wow.
But her phone called me by mistake.
Oh, wow.
So that wasn't no mistake. So I'm gonna I told her to go back in the shop and video the thing. Eyes bless.
Right, it's all going on today in Bless Radio. I'm telling you, it's all going on today. But this is what happens. This is what's so fun about being on radio. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's very unpredictable. That's what makes it so exciting. That's what makes it so exciting. You just don't know what's going to happen. And that's why it's a good platform to be able to discuss all different types of topics. You know, so he's gone again, so I've got to wait for him to come back. But let me go back to Ghana. Oh, you come back again?
Soft, man. Soft. Them soft. People, them soft. What
I
you
love
see, she calmed down now. Oh, she can't talk right now. I said, well, just a minute ago you were just a terrorist on the phone making up a bag of noise. And now you're calm like a lamb. So
because
that means
you want her hair back, that's why.
No, she doesn't wear that kind of. But whatever reason it is, she's calm. So that means Raja call the police. No, them call the police, innit? And when the police come, they're gonna say, yo, you're wrong.
And she's gonna take the hair.
No, this is somebody else.
A different one again.
Yeah, this is a different one.
Oh God.
This is not the one what I was telling you.
But you know what? Can I be honest now? I'm gonna be a bit firm here now. You know, I don't want to hear about no hair. I'm talking about Ghana. There's more important. Cape Coast. I need to talk about Cape Coast. I don't want to talk about no fake hair.
I know you start the hair business.
No, it's you telling me about the woman. About whatever.
No, but it's true though.
Listen. I don't want to talk about no hair. I want to talk about Cape Coast, where they had our ancestors in slavery in the dungeons, and that's what I want to talk about. I will not be distracted about no false hair. Thank you.
You see? You see?
That's the Ashanti warrior. They're coming out of me.
This is why we come home late at night, you know, when you're sleeping, you know.
No, that's a lie. That's absolutely a lie, because my man ain't going to come home late at night to me, because I will not be talking to him like that. I will just make sure, listen, this and this, very nicely, very calmly. But if you're going to start chatting nonsense, we're going to have to deal with it. So no man's not going to be coming home late at night because I don't nag.
You lock him out. I didn't say you was nagging.
I'm just saying, let's not be distracted from what is important.
That is important.
No, it's not important right now, today, on this show where we're talking about Ghana and we're supposed to be talking about Cape Coast, where our ancestors were. That's more important. We will not be distracted by someone who's getting heated up because they want their hair and rah to put on their head and etc.
It's not because they want their hair, it's because they've been abused, and I'm trying to...
I feed them business that. They allow themselves to be abused because they've gone to somebody to go and buy hair that don't belong to them. So that's for them business. That we're talking about something more important, which is our ancestors that was locked up in the dungeons and take their liberty taken away. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that.
You see, I got out of the room and come back and everything, church. Let's talk about that.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Let's not be distracted, and that's all I'm saying. When we've got a path to go on, we shall not be distracted. Okay, we will stay focused.
We've been distracted twice, you know. We got a phone call from Jamaica.
So there you go.
So
what is that telling you?
That means that no one don't want us to talk about the hair.
No one don't want us to talk about our ancestors being locked up in Cape Coast.
Yeah, but we know.
No, people, not everybody knows.
All right. Look, we get onto the thing, people. This is how we are, people. Don't worry, we're not arguing.
That's what I said. It all goes on at blessradio.org, and that's why it's a good platform to be on, because we can discuss like this. We can debate and we can, yes. You call me your brethren, innit? So, yeah. Brethren to brethren, innit?
All right, then, cool. Right, so can I speak now?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you sure?
Yes, my brother, you can.
I'm your brother now.
I'll humble myself.
You humble yourself now. Hey, sure to slap. It's all right now. Now I can humble myself.
Yeah, I humble myself now because we're back on track now. Yeah.
All tight, that nice. You see, this is why, you know, we have people out there like Miguel and thing for security. You understand? Because we need some security around here. Yeah, definitely. I need some anyway. Because I was your brethren, you know. I'm your brethren, you know. All right, don't get it twisted. All right, I'm your brethren. Don't take the miscalling crew on her phone. Pop off our phone, yes?
Yes, pop it off, man.
Pop it off. All right, so look at talk about the ivory slave course now. Is it the ivory slave course?
No, the ivory slave, Cape Coast.
Oh, it's another one.
Yeah, that's a different
one.
one.
All right, that's a different one. Forget about the ivory thing.
Yeah, the ivory is when they chop off the elephant, them tusk.
Yeah. No, and the people them hand and their foot.
Yeah, but that's not
we're not going to go into that right now. Right. So all tight the crew them. Stay away from the Indian man. Them not like you, you know. Them not like you at all. Trust me. Yeah. When I was at I used to work in an Indian shop. I know what they do around the back. No, I just think that to wind you up.
Listen to me, you guys. If you hear some boof buff in here, yeah, you know it's me and my brother in here rolling here.
Yeah. Go. How does it go?
Boof, yeah.
Is that it? Virgin. Maybe that's how I came into the world.
But well.
Some buff buff.
Anyway, let's get on with it. Ask me about the ivory rack. People, listen. Ivory Coast. I see he's got me talking about Ivory Coast. Cape Coast.
What are you talking about the Ivory Coast
Cape Coast, yeah?
Make up your mind. You wanna...
Cape Coast.
All right, you ready now?
Yes,
about
I'm ready.
Cape Coast.
Cape Coast, where they had our ancestors.
All right, we could talk about the place. Where's the all right, what it is, she take herself got into this slavery, what's the building called?
Castle.
The castle.
Coast, yeah, the castle.
Right? Now, the instructions say no filming. But she take up herself and she gone the other way by herself and make some film.
That's right.
Right. So you see, you're not alone, friend them in there.
Listen to me, I'm a Ashanti warrior, yeah? I'm a warrior, right? I was there for my people. I was there to get the information about my people and what happened to them so that I can tell others of what happened to the people. Because they're trying to pretty up this thing like it was something that's just so simple and easy, but it was not pretty.
What happened to your people?
So, so this is the history, right? So, one of the tour guides, he was talking, and I had to ask him because again, if you don't ask certain questions, you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers. Yeah. So he's talking and he's talking. So I said to him, please tell me, how did the Ghanaians get into this position of becoming slaves? What happened? Because the Ghanaians were here before any of this took place. So can you just tell me? So again, the Portuguese came over under the guise of trading. Yeah, they came in as friends, etc. You know, lived amongst the people, and you know, was doing their little bit of trading.
And brought
with
in
each
their
other.
religion.
You understand what I'm saying? But leave that for a minute. Let's just do the trade part, then we do the religion after, because you'll hear that part. So they did the trading, etc. and etc. and etc. Then, but hear that even before. But this thing about it is,
you keep talking about here, you know.
Yes, because you have to hear. You have to hear what it is.
How come you can talk about here and I
because
can't
it's the
talk about
H-E-A-R, not the H-A-I-R.
here is here?
No, it's not.
Okay,
Not at all.
Alright then, go on.
Yeah. So he's trying to wind me up, you know. You know, people are gonna hear some voodoo thing here, you know.
See another here.
So that castle, they was building that castle 60 years.
It took them 60 years to build it.
60 years to build that castle before they actually started enslaving the people. So imagine, for 60 years they were skinning teeth in the people's them faces, more than likely even employing them under the guise of, you know, working and trading and getting them to help them actually build that same castle that will then in turn turn around and enslave them. 60 years. Now, if you ever see how intricately they've built that castle, yeah, the mind that had gone into that castle has got to be, not only, you have to say genius, because some geniuses are quite sick as well. You got good geniuses and you got geniuses that are quite sick. They're sick. This one was sick.
What do you mean sick?
Because if you see the dungeons, right? How can I picture it? Now, you got the dungeon, and up the top of the, like say like near the roof, then basically you've got like a square, like a big square, and the way they've done the square, it's almost like you feel you can climb through the window. You understand what I'm saying? But as you're climbing through the window, it gets smaller and smaller. I don't know if people have watched Alice in Wonderland, and as things it's large, and then as you go down deeper in it, it gets smaller, and then it gets smaller. So you buck up on a little, and the light's shining through. So that light shining through the window will make you feel like you can get out of that window. But when you look at it properly, you climbing into that, you're not getting nowhere. Your head can't even fit through it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they use mind games on them. You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's not what it's for. You're telling me what you're saying, yeah? Which is basically, there's a big square in the wall or in the ceiling, but that square gets narrower and narrower as you get further along. Right.
It's just a little, it's a window. It's
yeah,
supposed
it's
to be
a window, but it
window.
just gets narrower
But
and
the
narrower.
way how it looks like you can actually climb through that.
But you can't.
But you can't.
Right. Now, that window is not a window. Right? This is a man thing now. Yeah? That window is a horn. So that you can hear what's going on outside. So that means if the people are giving instructions to somebody inside, they can shout from outside, and that will amplify the voice, because it's a horn. Those windows are horns. They're not windows. They're horns. So like if you are outside and you say, yo, bring up the slaves from cell number 5, you don't have to go in there and tell them.
But those are actually in the actual dungeons.
Yeah, I know, but you can talk from outside.
But let me say this though. In those dungeons, none of those governors or soldier or anybody ever went in them. It was only the slaves that was in. The only time that they even if they did go in there, they would just open the door and get them out. So
did you ask them what that window was for?
The window. I didn't
ask
them.
That thing what you're telling me about, the square in the wall. Did you ask them what it's for?
But they just said, the guy didn't. I didn't even ask him that. We just looked at it and we saw that it was a window. But the way how it was, you understand?
It could be an air vent.
No, it's not. Listen to me. Let me just tell you the whole. It was not an air vent.
Where's the picture of the thing?
Because when you see the air vent, when you see the picture, let me tell you something. When you see the other cells, yeah, when you see the other cells, you know it's not no air vent. You know that they literally meant to kill them, because in the other ones, yeah, did you say air vent? They're literally meant to.
Air vents, so that all the air and everything on the odor can go up through that vent and out.
Odor.
Yeah, but you got to have a vent. If you've got people underground, you've got to have some kind of air supply in there.
Hang on, let me show
where
you
they
the
can't
picture.
escape. So it could be another reason for that. It could be an air vent.
Hang on, let me see if I see it.
And we're gonna find out. But see, anyway, carry on talking.
Yeah, anyway, because the other cells, when you look at the other cells, you'll see that they clearly didn't have no air vent in there. They wanted to kill them in there, suffocate them to death. I'll allow that one and say it's an air vent, but it didn't. Yeah, I will allow that. But listen,
you have to have an air vent when you're underground at some point. You've got to have some kind of air vent.
Where's that one? Right, this
yeah,
is...
come find the thing. Find the thing.
Yeah, find it, man. I did show you yesterday, innit? Look. So anyway, you can't see it. Where's the window? You have to see. It's on the video because you have to see the video. But look, so there's that's the dungeons there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get on with it. So in the dungeons now, they've got like they pee, they poo, everything is in that one dungeon. Everything is in there, and it's like they've put like a little channel where it can run out into wherever it runs out into. You understand what I'm saying? So each of these dungeons held 200 men.
Each square.
Each of these square, held 200 men, and in all of that was 1,000 men. In all of that, altogether, 1,000 men.
But it's,
You understand what I'm saying? It held 1,000 men. Now, when the tide rose, that same window, because when the tide rose, it rose up to that window. Because when you look at the building on the outside, you see how far the tide came up. When the water came in, they will drown. A lot of them will drown.
That's if they're in there at
Yeah,
that time.
they will drown. A lot of them will drown. So you had, not only were they, pooing, weeing in there, and if they got whipped and whatever, they was in there bleeding, and dying, then you had them drowning. So there was all crammed in there with dead bodies, poo, wee. Then of course, you got the disease going on in there and everything going on in there. You understand what I'm saying? That you had that going on in there, So then you had a chamber which was called the cell, and on that in that chamber they had a door that was like 4. They said it was 4 centimeters. Was it 4 centimeters? How much is 4 centimeters? About that, in it?
No.
That's not 4 centimeters.
No.
That's what? 2 inches.
That's about 2 inches.
So about 2 inches.
4 centimeters is about 2
so
times
about 2
that.
inches. But
2 times that.
1, 2.
No, you say centimeters.
Yeah, 4 centimeters.
It's
no, so
twice
it's 2. No, so this is about
4 centimeters is twice this thick.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you had like 2. All right, then that's 1.
That's an
2.
inch.
Yeah. So that's about 2 inches.
2.5 inch.
2.5 inches. So they had that.
What's that
That's
for?
wood. That's the wood.
Yeah.
And then outside was metal.
That's how thick
On
the
either
door
side.
was.
That's how thick the door. That was 3 doors was thick like that.
2 inch.
Yeah, 2 inches plus metal on either side.
Yeah.
They had 3 of those doors on one cell. 3 of those doors on one cell. Those doors were that cell, and the cell was kind of smallish. You understand what I'm saying? It was like maybe the size of your there.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was small. So though that cell would hold the men that was very rebellious. The ones that they couldn't control.
That's our people.
Yeah, that's our people. Because they did say that. You understand what I'm saying? They were very rebellious and very hard to break. They will actually put them in that cell. No food, no water. And in there, you are not getting no air at all. They will close those 3 doors. Remember, they're now 2.5 inches thick with metal on either side. 3 of them. So you've got the outer, the middle, and the inner. Now, who in their right mind would want to put 3 of those doors on? 1 is enough.
Not
But
necessarily.
3?
Yeah.
But if you feel the door, but you have to see the door and
but
feel
maybe
the door.
there's different sections. Maybe the worse you
There's
are
a
is the
picture of
further
it.
back they put you. If there's 3 doors, 1 door there, 1 door there.
They were near to each other.
1, 2, 3.
They were very near to each other.
Right,
All the doors were near to each other.
That's a good concept because you can't break out. Because if you try to break the first door, the second door stopping the first door from
They
opening.
were very near to each other.
Right,
But the room is very small because
right.
you go in there, you feel claustrophobic.
Right.
As you go
So
in there,
in
you're
a nutshell,
claustrophobic.
they've made the door that thick.
Basically.
Yeah, but they've chopped the door in 3 sections, but it's still that thick.
You might as well say.
Yeah, that's a good tactic.
You might.
That's a good tactic, because no one ain't getting out of there.
They're not getting out of there.
You're not getting out of there.
So they put them in there, and they, of course, you're gonna dead within a short space of time anyway. So they had that dungeon there. They had the woman's dungeon, which was very small because they said that the men were more valuable than the women. But even so, still, you've got it's the same mess, and I have to call it the same mess because they urinated, they defecated in there, they had their babies in there, they will get whipped and whatever in there. So all of that is still in there. There's death in there. There's still that. But they had another little for the women who resisted being raped and stuff like that. They will beat them and put them in like another. Their chamber was even smaller though. You understand what I'm saying? And not feed them, not water them, or no light, no nothing. Their chamber was much smaller, and they were in there until they decided that they weren't going to fight no more.
Now, when you stepped in that place for the first time, how did you feel?
Right, before I even got to the castle, we was driving up the road to the castle. So you got into the village, isn't it, or the town of the place, and you could literally see where they would have sold, you know, the auction houses. You just saw you could if you've got a good imagination or you're spiritual, you could go back in time and actually see what would have been taking place, or what, you understand what I'm saying? And my belly started to churn from there. I started to feel sick from there. You understand what I'm saying? Before I even got there, I started to feel sick. I started cussing. I thought, look at this. I won't say what I said, but I started cussing even before I got to the castle. And I looked at, because you can, it's still there. The buildings are still there, and you can see. You understand what I'm saying? And I thought, look at this. This is where my peoples then would have been on the auction blocks and walking the streets or doing what, because it's very plantation-y. Looks like a plantation. You understand what I'm saying? Very much like that. And you feel it. You really feel it, and it was a horrible feeling. And then I started crying. There's a few times I started crying out of vexation. You understand what I'm saying? Out of anger, of knowing that the atrocities that was going on with our people was happening right in this place. And so when I got to the castle now, I was ignorant. I'm sorry, I have to admit it. I was ignorant. I was getting ignorant now, because I'm thinking, no, this play, it sort of like gets to you. The reality really gets to you. And so when we I think the first thing he was talking about was the guy, the priest who helped sell the Ghanaian priest who helped
sell the slaves. Yeah, that's it. Those are the ones that conformed to the religion. Yeah. And then they put them in charge to make money or something like that.
Not even, you know, they conformed to the religion, but what it was, they got bedazzled by the little gifts. The little trinkets, because the man said mirrors. The tour guide was talking about mirrors. They'd never seen mirrors before, and they never saw certain things. So they would come and say, "This is our God. Our God is powerful than your God. This is, look what it does." And they will see their reflection, and they will see certain things, and they think, "Oh, what kind of power is this? What kind of?" And then they will get.
Yeah, but you're missing the thing. Let's go back to how it affects you. Yeah.
No, but I'm getting around to that. That's what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you bit by bit. I'm saying that was the first part. So when he started to talk about that, and the guy, he was trying to nice it up, like to say, oh, you know, and they celebrated him because, you know, the Portuguese, it was the Portuguese, they're saying that, you know, he helped them so much with, you know, looking after the slaves. And we're saying, please stop nicing up the thing. He sold out his brothers and sisters, yeah? He sold them out, and because he sold them out and was such a good little, you know, servant. Yeah, you understand? You know, he's been now rewarded for it. You understand what I'm saying? You know. You understand? Yeah. He's been rewarded. Please stop nicing up this thing. We had to cuss this guy a few times. You understand what I'm saying? Me.
Yeah, but remember, there's different races there, so he has to talk it in a way that it doesn't.
Listen, no, don't talk. As we said to him, don't pretty up the team. Don't try and talk it nice for them. Make them understand the harsh reality of this thing. You understand what I'm saying? If they want to come and know this history, know the truth of it. Don't come pretty up nothing. And we had to, even the people that was there say, yes, we agree. Don't pretty up the thing. Tell it as it is. Don't come and nice it up for no other race. Don't come and don't come over what happened to us. You understand? And then go back and say, you know what? We went to the Cape and the slave castle, and like it was something that was just you're going to.
They won't respect it because
exactly
the people who are running the program is still respecting the slave masters.
That's why
people.
me and my sister had to go and bad up the man and say, listen to me, don't try do that. While we're here, you ain't doing that. You're gonna tell it as it is. You understand what I'm saying? And we made sure we asked the right questions to get the right answers, and we responded the way we're supposed to respond to get the right, you understand what I'm saying, feedback. You know, so like I said, that was one. And then, you know, he showed us other little bits and pieces. But like I said, now when we got to the dungeon, as you step into it, you don't listen to me, you just step over it like that, and you just stand just right there. Jeez, oh my God, I'm feeling it now. You just feel this thing. I don't even know how to explain it to you. Do you know, like when you step off a plane and the heat just licks you? This feeling just hit me, and me and my sister, and we was like, oh my God, it was like a blast. It wanted to just hit us back. And the smell, and it's like you can almost see parts where it's like the blood can't come out of the walls. You understand what I'm saying? And the urine and the smell of the feces is just in there. And you just feel it's almost like they're there, and it's like they envelope you. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they envelope you, and I'm walking in there and I'm saying, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm really sorry what happened to you. And I found myself apologizing. I'm really sorry for what happened to you. I'm so sorry for what happened to you, you know. And that's all I kept saying. I'm sorry for what happened to you. I'm sorry for what happened to you. You understand what I'm saying? And we're walking and we're looking, and it's just I don't know how to explain it. I was tongue tied then, and I'm tongue tied now, because you have to experience that feeling for yourself. It's a feeling that I try to put it in words, but I can't. You just have to see it, smell it, touch it for yourself, if you get what I'm saying. And to know that in those spaces, 200 man in that, 200 man in that, and in all of it, like I said, there's 1,000 brothers in this one place. No light. It's pitch black, apart from, like I said, to those little square of.
So maybe those were the light.
Yeah, maybe that was the light. Maybe, yeah. Like I said, I'll give them credence if that was a little piece of light, but
they got to have some form of light.
Yeah, so that was that. You understand what I'm saying? But it was not that much. It was not that much, because even when they put the in the dungeon, they've got light bulbs, and even with the light bulbs in there, there's still not a lot of light. You understand what I'm saying? So imagine if the light bulbs weren't in there, that wasn't giving off that much light. You understand?
That's a psychological thing. All they can see is this little white dot.
Yes, but this is what I'm saying to you. That's why I said to you, the window is a mind
It's a psychological thing too, because
yes,
you think you got to go up there to get the window.
Yeah.
But when you go up there, you're going to get stuck.
This is what I'm saying to you. You think you can climb out of there because the way how they've made it. But the more you go and you see that you're not going, that's torture of the mind. You think escape is up there. It's almost, I can picture what they were trying to do, because there's a ledge up a bit high. There's a ledge, so you will try and get, and the thing is the walls are very prickly. How can I say prickly? You know, the cement against it, that would tear your skin off. If you're trying to climb up there, your skin is getting ripped to shreds. And you can see, like I said, where they more than try to get there, because it's like the blood is ingrained into the wall, where they try to climb up this thing to get out of this window. You understand what I'm saying? So you can imagine the brothers, them skin is getting torn off, because they're trying to think they can get out of that window. That's an escape. And they're thinking they can get out of that window, not only to realize that they can't go. There's nowhere to go. They're stuck. They're stuck. It was, the women had more light in theirs more than the men. The women had more light in theirs more than the men. Of course, like I just said, they said that the men were more valuable than the women. The women weren't going to climb and go nowhere as such, because you didn't see that in the women's one.
Alright, you see any ghosts in there?
I didn't see no ghosts. I didn't see no ghosts. I didn't see no spirit. But like I said, the presence, you can feel the presence of them there. My friend, when he went into the woman's cell, he said he felt something stroke his face. You understand what I'm saying? I said, well, maybe that's one of your ancestors connecting with you right there. And you know, he came out because he couldn't handle it. You understand what I'm saying? But you feel the presence of them there. It's almost, if you stood still enough, I'm sure you would even hear them talk to you. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but it was heartbreaking. You felt sick, you felt nauseous, you felt angry, you felt sad, you felt like when you saw the white people, they want to beat up the white people then, because it's like, what are you doing there? What you come to see? What is it? This is not no circus, you know.
So they're still making money off the building then?
So they're still making money off the building. So this is what the guy was saying. Was it the guy that had said it to me, or was it the girl? There was a girl, she interviewed me after and asked me what I felt about the whole thing. So she said to me, what do you feel about them? Because in certain points you've got shops, and of course we've got our black brothers in there making their money because they're selling their wares and whatever. And I said that what I find kind of rude is that they're making their money in this place here, but this money's not going to their community, because poverty is just right outside their door. So when they make this money in this place where our ancestors were held for how many years, being mistreated, and they're making their money on this same land, where is that money going to? Is it helping their brothers and sisters?
No,
it's not going to them. It's not going to help them, because like I said, poverty was just right outside the door.
Going to the people them that own the building, the same slave master that built the building is still making money. So the people that built that building and own that building is still making money. Still making money.
Still making money from off of it, and that's what I found.
So this is where they got. This is where they got to change the thing. Because what they should do is the money that's made from that is supposed to go back to the people. It should do.
Yes, it should do, but it's not. You understand?
Now it becomes a tourist resort.
Yeah, you understand? So but I said, you know what? People need to know more about this place. You understand what I'm saying? People really need to know more about this place and visit this place, because they need to experience this thing. They need to experience this for themselves.
All right. So, how did you sleep the night?
You know what? I had trouble.
Why?
Because it just kept going over my mind. Going in them dungeons, it just kept going over my mind. And the suffering that I was just picturing, the suffering that, you know, my brothers and sisters must have been going through, and I couldn't rest. I just really couldn't rest. I felt them with me, basically. You understand what I'm saying? I felt them with me, and it was a thing where me and my sister, we said, you know what, we've got to go to, and you know, let me go back a bit. When we went through the door of no return, and you saw where they put them in the little boats to ship them now into the ships to take them off to whichever land they were taking. That is very, very heartbreaking. That is very, very heartbreaking, because you know, for them, they're never going to see their homeland ever, ever again. Ever again.
They know that from the time they entered the place.
You understand? Yes, exactly. But they more than likely knew that. But what I'm saying is, when you now are getting on something that you may not be used to getting onto, or is not a part of your, you understand what I'm saying? They do their little fishing and whatever the case may be, but this big old massive ship to come and take you away, this big old thing to come and take you away to somewhere you don't know, to put you in another dungeon. You understand? For another 9 months across the sea. I can see where them jumping over the you can see it's like you can see the video playing of them jumping over the ships, and in that water, that big far expanse of water, the amount of thousands and millions of them that would have died because they jumped over, or you know, because of sickness when they were in the ships and all the rest, being thrown over. You understand what I'm saying? Because they said that the water is very angry. The water is very rough. It's very, very rough. And they're saying that's the spirits of the ancestors of the dead that's in the water. You understand what I'm saying? So it's insane that when me and my sister came back to the hotel, I said, you know what, babes, we're gonna have to go to the beach. You know, we're gonna have to go to the beach, and we're gonna have to stand on the beach, and we're gonna have to tell our brothers and sisters, be at peace. Be at peace. You understand what I'm saying? Be at peace. Just, you understand? It's like we had to release them, sort of like. We felt them with us, and we had to stand there and release them and say, you know what? Be at peace. Just be at peace. You understand what I'm saying? So we walked along the beach. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, we had to sort of like release them. So, you know, just be released and be at peace with yourselves now. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, you had to be there to experience it.
Yeah, but you see, you're not the only one that's been there with that attitude there. And to me, I don't see them being at peace until they get justice.
But then how will they get justice?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't see them being at, how are you gonna, how you look at it like this, How are you going to tell them to be at peace after what's happened to them?
But the thing about it is, when
They're
I
not
say
gonna
be
be
at
at
peace,
peace.
when I say be at peace, listen to me. There's things with this. There's not going to be no repatriations. Yeah, there's never going to be repatriations. We have to get that clear. Yeah, we have to stop fooling ourselves into thinking that there's going to be repatriation, because I was trying to say, I said to one of my friends, when I get the proper information, I will come with it. Yeah. But the way how they explained why there will not be no repatriations, I understood why we are going round in circles with this thing, because as far as they're concerned, they're paying it to us already in whatever it is that they're doing. So there's not going to be no repatriation. So stop looking for it to come. It's never going to come. Yeah? So that's one point there. They will never get justice with that. It's not coming. So you have a choice. It's like if something was done to us in the past, we can either sit down and regurgitate it and regurgitate it and regurgitate and regurgitate, thinking that regurgitation is going to change things. It's not going to change things. Or we're going to say, you know what, it's happened, and I will no longer allow it to happen from here on in. I will change. You understand what I'm saying? I will now from the future go on and set my path this way. You have a choice. You understand what I'm saying? There is a choice. You understand? Those of us who know, and I speak from experience when I'm saying what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? There's a ministry that I used to go to. It's a prophetic ministry. Yeah? They themselves, that ministry went to, I think they were in Atlanta. And they went there and they spoke with those spirits, because the spirits came to them as priests. And when I say priests, I'm not talking about the white priest with the dog collar, whatever. Because when you read the Bible, we are priests. Do you understand what I'm saying? As priests, and came to them, yeah, and spoke to them about their hurt and the pain of being separated as family. And they saw in the spirit families coming together. You understand what I'm saying? And they said, you know what? Now you be released and go and be at peace. And those slaves, when we say slaves, or those spirits, waved goodbye and said to them, thank you for releasing us. Yeah, thank you for releasing us. And they waved goodbye and they went. So when I say what I say about releasing them, I know what I'm talking about. And this is why I knew that when I felt what I felt, the presence of my brothers and sisters, I had to go to this and say, be released and be at peace. Yeah. So like I said, you have a choice. Regurgitate your past, regurgitate, thinking you're going to have it change. It's not going to change. Yeah. You make peace with it. It's happened. It's done. It's over. Now that you did your government, this is today, let's say today, this is what I'm going to do from here on in. I'm not going to allow this to happen because I have the power to do whatever. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to let it happen. There's nothing they can't, there's no way they're going to get justice. There is no way. There's not going to be no justice.
To me, what you're saying, the justice piece now, it's common sense that you cannot get justice for that amount of atrocity that's happened. There's no justice.
There is none.
There ain't none. There ain't no justice that can replace that.
No.
Even if they said we're going to ship you all back, give you all £1 million each.
It's
still ain't gonna. It's still gonna.
Not gonna
you know what I mean?
it.
Once somebody breaks your heart, they break your heart. No more amount of money can fix that. You understand what I'm saying? So once they break your soul and your spirit and your culture and your name and your identity, there's nothing that can pay.
You can do.
There's nothing that they can physically do.
No,
to
there
pay
isn't.
For that.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. We can't regurgitate that. The only thing we can do now is educate ourselves from now, educate our children from now, to go forward. You understand what I'm saying?
But even down to that now is like, we need to be in a position where we can educate our children our own way.
Yeah, but we can.
Instead of using Babylon.
Yeah, but we can.
Thing.
Because at home, nobody can tell me what to do underneath my roof. I can educate my children in my home. Yeah, but we need,
but we need a building, our own infrastructure.
Building,
the Jew man have their own thing.
But let me
the
just
Muslim
say this.
have their own thing.
They do, but let me just say this. Before we go into the whole of that community, I'm talking about individually, one by one, underneath your own roof. Then we will get to having our own. It's not that easy
because some parents don't have that knowledge.
I know, but
how
what
to
I'm
educate
saying
their
is,
children.
and I hear that, but what I'm trying to say is, this is the reason why we've got to learn to start waking them up, to educate them. Let them understand there's resources here, there, and everywhere. This is the reason why Blessed Radio is a good platform for this. You understand what I'm saying? We cannot spoon feed them. Right? They need to get up and they need to do this thing for themselves as well. You understand? They live with their children. They're with their children. They need to take responsibility for empowering their children with this information. Yes, then we can have the schools and we can have the class, we can do the, you understand what I'm saying? We can have that all there, but we must learn to empower our people and stop enabling them to just be lazy. You understand? Because that's what happens. We're talking about some parents don't have this. Get up and go get it. Go and get it. Be interested in it.
I can't say, I cannot agree with that, because how I was brought up, my parents wasn't able to give me the education that I needed, because they themselves wasn't educated to find that information, and they had to spend most of their time working to pay the bills.
Yeah, but I hear that. But, I don't. But you know what? I'm going to refute that. I mean,
you can refute that all you want, but I'm just saying, from my personal experience, there wasn't too much my parents could have done as far as our education, as for them to home study us.
And I hear that.
There wasn't much they could do.
But that's then. They never had the technology that we've got now.
What we've got now, there's no excuse.
This is what I'm trying to say. But that's what I'm saying.
In this
We're not talking about our generation, because they never had the technology we've got now. Brother, we've got too much, and we're still making excuses. Come on now, we got to stop the.
We can educate our own.
We can do it.
Now
we've got to stop. You understand what I'm saying? Stop enabling people to be lazy, because that's what we're doing when we say things like that. We're enabling people to be lazy. We're enabling some of these parents to be lazy.
All right, now let's go back to the African castle, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And when I talked about the weave, you kind of pushed me off.
Yes, because
now
we're not talking about that.
Now we're talking about lazy people.
Yeah.
That got nothing to do with the castle.
No, but because we're just talking about education.
Right. Now we know education's available, but you still have the problem of some of the youth them that I don't care.
Yeah.
That kind of people you have a problem with them, because they don't even care about Africa. Some of them, they just care about money and peace and vanity.
But you know what? If we market because it's marketing. Market Africa then in a different type of way. You will find that the youths then will be interested. It's the way Africa has been marketed. That's why you'll find there's no interest in it. But if we change the way it's marketed, you will find that they will be more. Because they've got to understand, first and foremost, the music you're listening to, the origin of the beat, the origin of, you understand what I'm saying? When they realise that origin, it comes from Africa, the drumming, you understand what I'm saying? The dancing, do you understand what I'm saying? When you connect it back to Africa, they will become interested, because it's a part of Africa. All of that you're doing there, even though it's got the little whatever music and whatever, strip it back. What you're dancing to is African music. You understand? So what I'm saying is, you've got to market it in a different kind of way to get them interested. And because it's not been done, you won't get interest from them. We have to take away the Western way of thinking and bring it back. You understand what I'm saying? And the way we bring it back is when we strip back all of that instrumental and all of that, and bring it back to the bare beating of the drum. Which is the
African drum, which is the heartbeat.
Bring it back to the heart.
Right. So, back to the castle now. Right. So you never see no doppy.
No.
You didn't see nobody in there that you know. Nobody never see you.
I can't say nobody never saw me.
Now talk about the doppy then. You know?
That's what I'm saying. I can't say that. They may not have... you know.
Oh no, listen.
Yeah, no.
So this phone's that?
I don't know, love. Oh, is it Sayad? Sard.
There's a phone.
Just cancel it.
We don't know where it is. So when did you sneak that in there?
No. Oh. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah. So
It's the Skype people. Wagwan, my Skype crew. Wagwan. They can't wait to talk. Anyway, so back to the African thing now, right? Now you know what you know, right? How important is it now? Because you know, if you know what you know now about that journey when you went there and you saw the castle and everything, now you know. Now, if I'm saying to you now, if I say to you, one of the biggest mistakes that you've made in your life is not going there earlier. Would you agree with me?
No.
You think this time is the right time?
There's a time for
so
everything.
if you knew before, that wouldn't have been, if that wouldn't have helped you?
If I knew before, I would have gone.
Yeah, but what you know now, if you knew it, say 10 years ago, where would you be today?
In Ghana.
All right.
But there's a time for everything, and there's a when the time is right, the time is right. You can't do anything before it's time. It's called false ripe. You understand? The time is now. You understand what I'm saying? So now that I've been there at the right time, it's changed. The person that I am now is completely from the person I was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Completely different person.
So you go in there now. Now when we talk about things like obia and witchcraft and what the ancestors used to do to escape the persecution and the fight of other races that try to sort of oppress them. Now can you understand why they had to use these African tradition, otherwise what we call obia? Do you understand why they had to use these things?
I still see obia as an evil thing.
How can it be an evil thing?
Yeah, I do, because there's people using it for evil.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, our people who used to use it back in them time.
But some of them used to use it for evil too.
Yeah, it's still a tool. It's how you use it. It's like a knife. It's up
still,
to you how you use it.
Some of them still use it for evil, and I don't agree with the evil.
Yeah,
I don't agree with the
well,
evil.
are they? Supposing somebody uses it to save somebody's life.
But I wouldn't call that witchcraft. I would call that
I didn't
medicine.
call it witchcraft. It's obia.
I wouldn't call that obia.
What would you call it?
Obia neither. If they're using medicines to heal somebody,
It doesn't have to be medicine. You could call a spirit to save somebody.
But I don't do me personally. And again, I don't. There's only one spirit I deal with, and that's the spirit from the Creator. I don't deal with spirits because I don't know where those spirits come from. Are they fallen angel spirits? Which kind of spirit are they?
Yeah, but
spirits?
even when you're talking about going to those places and you feel the ancestors in there, you feel their spirit. Yeah, that's still spirit.
It's a spirit, like I said, for me, I'm not gonna go to them and say to them, "Please, can you do this for me? Can you go there and do this and go there and do that and go and go?" That's their being. That's the whole of their being that's left there. You understand what I'm saying? They're trapped there. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go to them and inquire of them, "Oh, what's my future?" or "Can you help me do this?" No, I'm not gonna do that. There's only one person I'm gonna do that, and that's the Almighty and His Spirit. I'm not going there to inquire of no spirit to do nothing for me. And that's just because of what that word says to me. You understand? Like I said, I'm a person, and I read my Bible and I listen to what the Creator says in the Bible. And if it says do not mix with, do necromancy, meaning dead people, you don't go to inquire of dead people.
It's not everything you believe in that
whatever.
book there. The Bible says,
like
the Bible says certain people forget stoned to death. Yeah?
But if you
because
read
the Bible
said
it, do we have to do it?
No. But like again, study to show yourself approved. And this is what I'm saying. People do not study that Bible. You have to look at the Bible according to what was going on in that day and time. And it was talking about that day and time, in that day and time, in that culture, in that tradition. That's what they used to do. You're not talking about now you must stone them.
So why
to death.
change?
You understand what I'm saying?
Why change?
Because at the end, as time goes on, things change, laws change. You can't go on and keep stoning people.
Listen, there's a lot of things in that book that was put there deliberately to program.
That's why you study to show yourself approved.
That was put there to program us
That's
directly.
why you've got to study it.
Yeah.
That's why you study it in its original form. In its original. When you study in the original form with its original words, because there's words. Remember, we know about words.
The Bible, the whole book is not original.
Right? Listen, the book that I read is near enough original to it.
No, it's not.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is what I tried to tell you. To be a bit open-minded.
No, I'm not open-minded about any other spirit. And we can go around in circles with this all day.
We can go around in circle. But what I'm saying is this. From my point of view, that book is not the original book. That book is a copy of a copy of a copy.
Like I said, when you study that book with the history, because you got history books of what was going on in them days and time to get you to understand what was going on in those days and times and cultures and etc, and you study it with its proper Hebrew or Greek or Amharic, and you understand that the words that they used was not the correct words, you understand the essence of what's going on in that book and what they meant. You understand what I'm saying? When you study it, because you're supposed to read it like it's a fairy tale book. You study that book. You're supposed to study it because first and foremost, it's my history book, and I will continue to say it's my history book. It's our people are in that book. What's happened to them with that slave trade, being scattered here and there, how they were treated, is in that book. So when you read it and you study in with, like I said, we may not get the when it was written on the parchment paper. But what I'm saying is when you study it along with all the other study guides and all your other history books, you will get the gist of what's being said. You understand what I'm saying? You will get the gist of it. But some people, they don't want to study. They don't want to take the time out to study all those things.
They, as I said, where everybody sees it their own way. Everything, you know, but there's good and bad in all things. And I say, within the book, there's some truth and there's something that is not true, right? So,
but then if you study, you will know what's not true.
You will know, but you see, the church,
be able to sieve it out.
The church today is not studying like how we was used to study when we was going to church.
Exactly.
It's a different thing. When we go back to church on a Sunday, pastor used to say, all right, what you do from your studying last week, you gotta come back to church the next Sunday and tell them what you've learned. And tell them, did you do the thing? More or less, when we was going to church, you used to actually get homework, more or less.
Exactly. So that's not going on nowadays.
Now that ain't going on no more.
And this is the reason why I will always then still stand up for the Bible, because if we studied the Bible then when we got lessons from the thing and we studied it, I will stand up for it now, because nobody is studying it now. Again, everybody's being spoon-fed and being told what's in there instead of going studying it for themselves to find out if what the pastor is saying is really true and really real.
If the pastor tell them the truth about how that book really tells them to walk, then half that people in the church will not have no weave on their head. If they're really walking in the light of the Bible, and if the Bible is supposed to be the word of God, and the Bible is this and Bible is that, if you really know what it's saying, then your pastor would have to tell you according to how you're dressing. It's not
exactly. But them have their own agenda, as we already know. But we as individuals, and like I said, we need to stop enabling people to be lazy. Go and study. If you want to get a degree, you have to study for that degree. If you even want a job, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna make sure you know every single job. You go to a job interview, you're gonna study that job so you know exactly what words to put down on that application form, or what you're gonna study. You understand? Something that's so important. That's our history book. Why would you not
I
study?
look at the book, right? We're gonna round up the thing soon because time is waiting for no woman. We're gonna round up the thing soon. But what I realized with this studying thing, when it came to the New Testament and then Apostle Paul come along, that's put me off, me personally. The Paul thing, the whole of that put me off. And when I go through what Paul was saying, that made me close the book and put it down.
But again, even in that, again, if you go and study with,
you can't study what Paul said. Paul lie.
I can.
Paul lie.
I can.
Paul lie. But what did Paul say? In there, Paul said that there's a part in there where Paul actually say he deceived the people them.
Which part is that? I'd have to see that.
There's a part when Paul himself said that he deceived the people them. So he made them believe something.
I'd have to see that for
was
myself.
Not a follower of Christ. He himself turned around and say that it's a shame for a man to love long hair. Yeah, but Christ, yo, bless that night. So I go on. How you doing? What's up?
Yeah, I hear you talking, yeah?
Yeah.
All inspiration come from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth to those who believe, yeah? And those who believe, they're blessed and they're saved. So the Most High transgress. These works you see I do, you will be doing them. And greater works than these works you see I do, you'll be doing as well. That's why even in the Old Testament, when it comes to John, when it comes to David, he said that one lady was dealing with phobia, witchcraft. But she changed her ways anyway, but him just let her know. She changed her ways already, right? But him just let her know the law of the Most High. That same law, the word. But we're given in the Bible what? Sufficient. Needs, not wants, needs. But there are a lot more parts of the word of God that's not written. So we have to just love and give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who said, these works you see I do, you will be doing them. And greater works than these works you see I do, you will be doing as well. And remember, what's together in at the beginning? Come let us make man in our own mirror, image and likeness. So when we say Emperor, Hail Emperor Haile Selassie, see, You're seeing the mirror image and manifestation. These works, you see. So the families are going to take him as him is Christ, but him say unto those who believe, miraculous sign and wonder follows those who believe. He never said, call out your flesh, which is a house in a house. No family say, black brother for Africa, black Christ. There's no such thing as a black Christ. Christ the spirit come in a flesh. So we are the same as Christ. And as I said, what was in the beginning that the devil come in as a snake. No, he said, yes, did God say you will not die? You shall surely die, But the devil said, God say you shall surely die. A lie, my lie. So therefore, when it comes to families who are misled, Philistine, are them different family. Them come out of Adam and Eve with the Most High make, and the devil turn a serpent and a deceive. So Jesus Christ come to straighten out things. Jesus Christ come to straighten out things. You see, that's how Jesus Christ come to do, is straighten out things.
All right, listen, that night's time.
He may come to change the law of force, man,
Anyway, listen, so that night's for
who you believe in.
Aye, phone check one.
My Lord and Savior, you can't go to the Most High first.
You know, listen to me.
Christ. I'm hearing you.
You can hear me, man. Hey, yo, you win the latter, you know.
Have much time.
Yo, me say you win the latter.
Win the latter.
Oh, you hear that? You hear that now?
That's right.
Yeah, you see, people, it's all about money. Them here switch from the Bible straight to money. All right.
That's what the world got trained us to be. Because some families are, me I watch EastEnders. And after a while, the Most High Spirit just take me from them kind of family there who used to look down upon me and how me have Empire Selassie on the wall and how me I deal with Christ here as Lord and Savior, exactly what Jesus Christ said.
All right, listen, that night's what for God. That night's what for forward, yeah, because the next presenter is here, yeah, and we have some people from Africa who want to come through and talk, yeah. So bless up for the contribution. And keep the walk, the walk where you're walking in a Christ, which is in spirit and in truth. But me not work with the Paul thing. Paul tell too much lie. Yeah, so I'm not working with that.
Paul get change over, Remember the eye.
We'll talk tomorrow. We can talk about this tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, brother. Then tomorrow.
Bless.
Tomorrow.
Anna.
Prove yourself worthy of the Bible, like what the sister say, yeah?
Alright, cool.
Prove, the education of the world got a lot to do with Jesus Christ. These works I do, you will be doing them.
Alright,
then. Greater works than these works, so make no man take you off of that.
That's right.
Alright, cool. Alright, so bless up, brethren. Give thanks for the contribution, sister. When the land with your last closing words, because my man talk
the last
through
closing
the
words.
Yeah.
Study to show yourself approved.
I don't work with the Paul thing. I don't tell you that already. Paul tell lie. Paul never see Jesus. Paul tell people it's a shame to have long hair when Yeshua.
Hello, listen to me. No. Hang on. I'm not just talking about Bible. I'm talking about study to show yourself approved.
Approved to who?
Show yourself approved. Meaning, know where you're coming from. Yeah? Study your history. Know where you're coming from. You understand what I'm saying? When you know where you're coming from, nobody can rock you.
If you keep pointing, I'm going to bite off your finger, I'm going to bite your finger.
Nobody can rock you when you know where you're coming from and who you are.
Stop pointing.
Yeah? I'm pointing at the screen now. I'm pointing at muting now.
If that come near to me,
I'm pointing at muting now. I'm pointing at muting.
Muter.
On the screen, study to show yourself approved. Yeah?
keep it going.
No.
Anyhow, I grab that finger and I'm taking it home, you know that. And put it next to me dumpling.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So you're going to know about
just study to show yourself
right.
approved,
So people, we give thanks for your gathering. We're out of here.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you same time next week. Tomorrow, actually, from 2 o'clock. Yeah, we forgot now.
Oh.
You make the man talk out the thing.
Oh, well, this is just a little,
What?
Little outro.
We're done. All right, so people, adios, be good, and if you can't be good, you have a problem. Yeah.
That's right.
Right, not to be careful, you have a problem. We're all there, yeah. Right, that's it, done. Right, it's not even playing, racism. You see, computer here where I say, I must have something to do with Paul.
Look off that then, innit?
All right, it won't happen. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Go on, you sing then. Sing something.
Sing.
Yeah, sing something.
Pass the guitar.
Go on, sing. Where's the little sitting shit?
Yeah, I'm going to sing.
Go on, sing. Go on, sing.
Yeah, you can sing in it.
Go on, sing.
Alright, let's sing.
Go on, plinging. Go on.
You know what? The string stretch out, you know. I will sing next week, people. You see? Yeah, that last string dead. Look. That one,
In pop off.
2 of them, yeah, take the thing. Alright, next week, people. Adios. Jah guide you and strengthen you from this time forward and forevermore. Later on. Coming up next is the show, the Grail Message with Brother Assad, and we have our people them from Africa and Germany and all that. What type, brother? What's name? Rainer? Rainer. You're supposed to call me, you know, brethren. You're supposed to be calling me, you know. Don't make a jump on the plane and go to Germany and knock your door. All right, adios. So yeah, we deal with them people. We just tell them straight. We'll come over Germany and knock your door, brother. Later.